We all know that social media can have a profound effect on society at large, but what about the individual? Many of the speakers at the Social Learning Summit emphasized how you can best integrate social media into your daily life.
It's such a huge avenue for people to connect to each other, to grow, to learn, and kind of like have access to more information and, promote your causes, whatever you're interested in, and then have your voice out there in the internet world. I love it so much.
I look at social media as a platform where, in order for it to work, people have to own the issue. Because if I'm going to share something that you're doing with my audience, with my network, I have to see that I have a stake in it.
You don't start your job search or your personal branding on a social media platform. You start it by doing great things in your life and doing things that really are important and that you're passionate about. That's when you start moving into social media and talking about how you're going to promote yourself. First, do things worthy of promotion, and then start promoting yourself and get involved in the discussion in your industry.
For students who wanted to learn about the business end of Twitter, multiple seminars were held focusing on social media jobs and businesses that utilize social media outlets.
I say that the content needs to be strong, and it needs to speak of who you are, basically. And it doesn't matter if it's a Tumblr and all you do is pictures, like if that's how you like to tell stories, then that's how you like to tell stories. And I think that that's something to be appreciated. Your skill in, not necessarily saying something in paragraphs upon paragraphs, but quickly and just capturing stories in a different way. Although, obviously highly suggested that you develop a mix of that content to say, I don't just write, but I also can translate, narrative into videos, photographs, paragraphs, whatever. So I think that that's key.
If you hit a point where you haven't updated your blog in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, take it off your resume or any of your profiles, because if I pull up your blog and I see that the last time you posted was in 2007, but you're still, keeping it on a one-sheet resume, thereby, kind of stating its importance, I'm kind of like...
Right, that will hurt you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things that I see a mistake people making these days is we'll get, tons of resumes in, but one of the things that I wish we would see more people actually do is try to interact with us once the resume's already in. It's great to send out, blast out to 100 companies, a resume. But if you don't really follow up and be proactive, it's, we get so many resumes, it's actually hard for us to even make sense of it, and especially when the fact that referrals are always going to get pushed to the top anyway.
I, along with another partner, started a site here in DC called Proudly Made in DC that shows all the startups in the District of Columbia and the region. And one of the startups came to us and said to us, we got over half of our new sales from just being listed on that website. The ROI on that blows the doors off of any Facebook, any Twitter campaign, anything like that.
And a couple of things that we have today that weren't around 10 years ago, or businesses of the past didn't have. A lot of these tools are free to start with and to develop a name, develop a reputation, get people interested in what your idea is or what your company is about. You can buy a domain name, put up a quick landing page, create a Facebook and Twitter account, begin following people, begin producing content that is of some value to them, value enough that they want to repost it or retweet it or send an email to their friends to visit the page. And what's also interesting is that you can track to see the success that you're having, the progress that you're making, also increasingly for free or just for a little bit of money. There's a lot of data that's out there. There are a lot of analytics that you can collect to see, are people clicking on your link? Are people visiting your page? Is your idea something that may have a funding potential behind it? Just create a landing page with people to sign up for your list, right? That you're building. You may or may not ever send them an email, but you can see if people are interested enough to give over their information to you because they're interested in the idea that you're working on.
Some of the panelists addressed viral videos and why you can't just create a video and make it viral all on your own.
A video that goes viral can have a huge impact, can really make a lot of people that you wouldn't otherwise reach. But I think what we were saying was that you can't plan on something going viral.
Right.
You can't calculate, I want to have a viral ad, and so I'll do this ad, because it's really a combination of something that's clever and funny and unexpected, and then kind of vaults itself to be viral.
I mean, I do love this idea about let's make a viral video, because you make a video and you hope it becomes viral, right? That's how it works. And by viral, we mean that it gets picked up and shared many, many times. But you can't overstate the role of media. And now it may be new media, maybe just blog media, which is definitely media. So basically, the Rebecca Black story started going crazy and started to get all this viral attention because Gawker picked it up. So Gawker is a huge blog site, and Gawker wrote about it, and then all of Gawker's followers started to pick up on it. So I think the bottom line is you can make a video, and it's great storytelling. The Rebecca Black is great storytelling, no matter how you look at it, and it has something for everybody. And so if Gawker writes about it, so media attention, then ripple effects. So it's at some level, it is kind of about promotion 101 in a way.
Well, I mean, there's definitely factors to look at when creating a bunch of viral videos. If you're going to make 200 viral videos, you know, Old Spice made 186. There's definitely factors that you can kind of go into. You know, it has to be funny, it has to be short. You know, if you can add some silliness, you know, to it. One take shot so it looks real. There's definitely things you can do to give yourself an advantage. There's no way to guarantee anything's going to be viral, but you can guarantee that, you know, it'll be viewed by more people than it otherwise would be if you just take those elements and add them to the video. So there's different things you can do to improve your chances of getting seen. You have to get experience, get a flip camera. If you don't know how to do it, I mean, there's so many instructional videos online right now on YouTube. Go on YouTube and say, how do I make a video? How do I use, you know, a flip camera? Ask your friends. You probably have one that's at least done it once before. You know, but between a flip camera and an iMovie, you know, a cheap editing software, you can at least start to get the feel for it. And then as you get the feel for it, you can watch TV commercials, you can watch the movies, you can watch TV shows, and you can say, well, how are they taking it to that next level? Like, what am I not doing? Why is the lighting different? And then you can go further and further and further. But it's all about taking that first step. It's all about making that first video and just getting your feet wet and trying it out.
One important point many stressed was to emphasize interaction between individuals using social media so you can make connections with fellow users.
I am all for decompressing, and if you find yourself going into routine, stop, switch it up. If you find yourself, you know, there's one point where I'm like, oh, that tweet was funny, why is nobody retweeting it? You know, and you know, I was just getting frustrated. I'm like, well, wait, man, why am I doing that? You know, why am I trying to say I'm funny? It's like people already know I'm funny. You know, so it's just, yeah, it's kind of, you don't want it to take over your life, and it's all about social media. It's not media. It's all about being social, engaging, and it's all about your personality. And if you become a robot, then people aren't really going to engage with you because you are a robot to them online. So it's all about just trying to, like I said, if you have to step away, step away. You know?
I think people are now communicating via different media, but they haven't stopped being people, and we still should interact the same way. Just because the medium is different doesn't mean that human beings interact differently. So what's bothersome in person, what's bothersome by email, what's bothersome on the phone is bothersome by social media. So the way you connect to people on places like Twitter and Facebook is the way you connect to them in person, is the way you deal with them in person. So you don't try to tell them irrelevant things. And one of the most important ways to get something from people is to give them something. So the way you make genuine connections with someone, face-to-face at a conference even, is by offering something, whether it's information or another contact or even just something funny that you have to say that's relevant. I mean, these are the ways that we've always operated. I don't think that social media changes that so much.
Well, we've come to the end of our field packages for the Social Learning Summit.
When we come back, we'll wrap up the show and reflect on what we've heard. Stick around.